So today we're gonna go. I just wanted to go over what I was gonna say. Sorry, I didn't post yesterday. Okay, we can flame me for that. But what I need, I want to talk about what I was talking about at the end of that video, which was Luke. I found the verse. It's Luke 6:37, which is essentially like, who am I to judge another when I myself walk imperfectly, right? Like who? I'm a sinner, so why am I gonna judge another sinner, right? Even if their sin looks different. Like when your significant other or your friends or your family or anyone in your life is like, doing things that you're just like, dude, why are you even doing that, right? Like things that are clearly bad for them or self-destructive or whatever it is, and you want to chime in, and it's like, what point do you chime in? Because a certain at a certain point, it's like every person is gonna do what they want to do. You can tell them a million times to change. You could tell them that what they're doing is wrong. You could tell people in abusive relationships that they're being abused. But people are going to do what they're going to do. It's up to them to internally change. Yeah, you can plant seeds of like change or, whatever it is. And so I'm having this issue with towing this line where it's like, you want to intervene and you want to put, give your friends input, your family input, or your significant other input on what to do better or how to change, or like the things that are you clearly see are going wrong in their life that you're like, oh, just work on this or work on this. And towing the line between telling them and just taking a step back and being like, okay, I have to I'm just going to be a supportive person and just not a yes man, but just be supportive, be like, oh, from their point of view, like, why are they doing what they're doing, and understanding that. But it's like, what point do you have to chime in? Like, what point does the behavior become too self-destructive, or what point does the behavior become too harmful to the self, where you're just like, dude, I'm a terrible friend for just letting my friend rot, or I'm a terrible significant other for letting my significant other rot, or I'm a terrible son, or whatever it is. Like, and I think the people that deal with this dilemma the most are parents of addicts, honestly, because we could sit there and dude, when I was younger, my parents would make us watch the show Intervention all the time, dude, because they would we're scared straight. We don't even want to do nothing because they would just make us watch that show. And you could watch that show and say, but the parents are enabling them. The parents are enabling them. Well, it's so much more complex than that. I mean, that's their child. They don't want to see their child suffer from withdrawal or suffer in general. They're just like, okay, they need some money. And a lot of times the parents will convince themselves, well, this person, they said that, Josh said that he needed money for gas, or he needed money for food, or he needed money for this. But it's, it's always, the parent knows it's mostly drug money, but they're just going to convince themselves otherwise. But they're playing this line where it's like, what are their options? They either, because you can't force an addict to get sober. It's only up to the addict to get sober. And so no matter how many times you could put them in rehab and inpatient a million times over, and they still may not make the internal decision to be sober. And so as a parent, it's like, okay, do you just love from a distance? Do you support them no matter what? Or do you enable? Like, is supporting the same as enabling? Like, if I see that my friend, let's just say, if I see that my friend is like, let's say my friend is lactose intolerant, and they drink milk all the time, and then they come and complain to me that their stomach hurts. And I could do two things. I could support them, like, hey, like, oh man, like, that sucks. I'm sorry your stomach hurts. I could do that. I could do the enabling, which would be like, the next time they're thirsty, is be like, oh, you want some milk? Or I could do the third thing, which is like, dude, your stomach hurts because you're freaking drinking milk. Just stop drinking milk. And the thing is, they're not going to stop drinking the milk. Like, I think the best thing I can do is just to be supportive and be like, oh man, that sucks. It's like, at a certain point, you realize that, when you get older, that your friends, family, all these people in your life, no matter, even me, yourself included, do not listen to others. They listen to themselves, and they may take advice, they may do whatever, but at the end of the day, it's up to me to move. It's up to me to make a change in my life. And so, yeah, I've been just dealing with this struggle. And so that's why I bring it back to Luke 6:37, which is like, the best thing to do is just to be supportive, but not enabling. Because it's like, who am I to judge as I walk imperfectly? Right? Like, I guarantee you, I have friends, family, and loved ones that are screaming at me and praying for me to get better and to not do the thing that I've been up to, and to like continue to post and all this stuff, right? Like, you know, and they're probably not telling me because they know I'm not going to listen, because they know I'm only going to listen to myself, right? And my fiance, Julianne, she has a friend that constantly finds herself in the exact same predicament repeatedly with like the same genre of guy, like the same type of guy, just kind of like a cheater, essentially, like a piece of, you know, a person. Yeah, that type of guy. And no matter how many times at a certain point, me and my fiance gave up on telling this person advice. We're just like, oh man, like just be supportive. Be like, okay, at this time, and in this moment, this is all this person feels that they are deserving of. And it's not up to me to like make them feel more deserving. It's not up to me to, you know, put them in therapy. It's not up to me to beg them to go to therapy or help them set that up. It's not up to me to tell them what to do or give them advice. My only responsibility is to not shame that person. That's it. And, you know, it's weird because, you know, obviously there's this thing called, you know, there's tough love where, you know, your father is just like, or, you know, I have friends that are, you know, give tough love, and Julianne gives me tough love sometimes too when she needs me to lock the fuck in. People receive information differently. Some people can get motivated through shaming them. Like, you're just like, yeah, you suck. Lock in. You suck. And you're like, yeah, I do suck. What am I doing? What am I even doing? And then they lock in. For me, if I get yelled at or shamed, I'm just gonna sit there and feel bad about myself. It's not gonna make me do better. But like at my job, my new job, it's like I'm receiving so much praise all the time that I can't help but do a good job, right? Like that's the type of feedback I need, because it's like a safe space. And if I do something wrong, he's like, hey, my boss is like, hey, just fix this real quick. Like, no worries, bro. You know I'm not that type of guy. Just come fix this real quick, right? Like he's not gonna yell at me. I don't know. And I guarantee you all have this dilemma. You got friends, you got family, you got even yourself. You could sit here and tell yourself 3 million times. You could stay up until 3 a.m. so many nights in a row and get that 3 a.m. motivation, that 2 a.m. motivation. And we're going to wake up tomorrow. We're going to do everything. And you need to do this just to not do it and then have that same night again. It's like you could tell yourself repeatedly over and over and over to do something. Oh, and then you don't do it. And then you're like, we should have done it. And then you shame yourself. It's like even you won't listen to yourself. So others won't. It's an internal thing. And it's really like in Beyond Good and Evil by Nietzsche, he talks about the commander and the soldier. I don't really think he uses the word soldier, but he talks about the commander and how we're all commanders. Whether we want to acknowledge that we're commanding something or not, we are all commanders. And true freedom comes when you acknowledge that you are both the commander and the soldier. You can command all the time, but if you don't listen, then you're not free, because then you were a slave to the mind of the soldier, a slave to the impulse of the body, the impulse of the flesh, not a slave to the commands of the commander. Because if you just followed the orders of the commander or the higher self, then you'd be smooth sailing, right? And that's why a lot of us, we live, you know, people, a lot, like the reason I wanted to be a therapist and like all this type of stuff is that when you don't listen to yourself and you can't command yourself, like, and I can't command myself, and I don't listen, like a lot of times I won't listen and I'll just do exactly what I shouldn't be doing. I feel I can vicariously live through others when others come and ask for advice and I give them that advice and then they go and do it. Like, oh, just go work out, go hit this split. And then they go work out. And I can then feel like I did the action without doing the action. I can live vicariously through them and be like, see, I know exactly what to do in life. I'm just not doing it. But other people are doing it and they're doing well. So it's like, it's good. But I don't need to do it. General consensus of the story is like, is your job as a friend, family, loved one. Yeah, at a certain point, you have to give someone tough love. But up until that point, as long as the behavior that they're doing and the thoughts that they're doing aren't super self-destructive and super self-harm, just don't shame them. Just listen. Just be a listening ear. That's all I have to do in life. That's all you have to do is just, because people, I think, like when I go and talk to someone, I pretty much solve the issue by talking out loud. There's something in software and comp sci that they do something like, it's called like the duck or something, where they like have like, I think it's a duck on their desk where they just talk the problem out to their duck and they solve it. It's like being a listening ear is important because you don't even have to do anything. You're just letting the other person release and get catharsis And by even if they complain to you 1,000 times in a row about the exact same issue, yeah, at a certain point you're like, hey, maybe you should try something else. Sure. But for the most part, they're getting catharsis. They're saying it out loud. And at a certain point, they're like, wait, I'm telling you the same thing over and wait, and they might figure it out on their own. Maybe not. But I tend that helps me a lot. Don't judge, man. Like who am I to judge? Because I could sit here and I would get so mad at people in my life. I'm like, yo, you're clearly doing the most dumbest thing ever. Just listen. I'm literally telling you the blueprint. I'm telling you, but it's like, first of all, who am I to tell someone what to do? I'm not God. Second of all, who am I to tell someone what to do? I'm a sinner. I'm literally so imperfect, and I guarantee you people are so mad at me for not doing what they want me to do. Like Julianne is probably so mad at me for not watering the plants. I don't care to do it, right? She's probably mad at me for not vacuuming 4 times a day, whatever it is, right? Anyways, guys, girls, gays, queers, they, them, Caesar, any, all, everyone, anyone, have a blessed. Hey, this is the last thing I'll say. No, have a. People get really upset. Like some people, like a lot of people just laugh when I say it. Every time someone at work or anywhere in public says, "How are you doing?" I say, "I'm blessed." Right? Some people get like, it makes them upset, and you're like, "Ooh, I just struck something, and it ain't gold." Anyways, love you guys.